Nostalgia has this funny way of holding back our criticisms of any given piece of media that we would otherwise hold under the microscope of scrutiny, looking at something with rose-tinted glasses, as they would say. But what if it doesn't always hold true? What if you watch something as an adult and pick up on a few oddities that you never noticed as a kid? Sure, something might seem childish at first because you're looking at it through the lens as an adult. However, what I'm specifically talking about is looking at something objectively worse than what you remember, and not just being corny or subjectively bad. And it's a really bizarre phenomenon, especially when you remember you really enjoyed the series overall.
This is what happened to me when I was rewatching 2003's Teen Titans.
Making their first debut in the 1960s, the Teen Titans were the brainchild of writer Bob Haney and artist Bruno Priminati. They were quite successful during the 70s and 80s, however, I don't think they ever reached mainstream success like Batman or Superman. These two mainstays of the DC Comics were able to achieve this due to their theatrical films as well as animated series. But eventually, Teen Titans would receive its own animated series in 2003. And this is the series that I fell in love with as a kid. The crazy villains, the wild expressions in animation, and the character writing present in each season. The first season focused on Robin and his struggle to bring Slade to justice. The third season saw Cyborg grow as a leader. The fourth season, Raven learned to escape fate and let go of her past. The fifth season showed Beast Boy maturing and learning to become a leader. Oh, again? Interestingly enough, though, the only Titan who didn't get their own season was Starfire. Now, you could argue that she had a couple of good standalone episodes and she didn't really need her own season, although it would have been nice. And then, finally, there's Season 2. Season 2 focuses on another member of the Titans that's hardly brought up. That's because Season 2 focuses on Terra and the Judas Contract arc of Teen Titans. The Judas Contract is one of the most infamous stories in the Teen Titans run of the comics, and it's what the second season of Teen Titans, the animated series, loosely adapts. The adaptation opens up with Terra running from a monstrous scorpion. The Titans arrive only for Terra to kill the large creature using a rock. She then formally introduces herself to the team. As the episode unfolds, she gets closer to the Titans and especially Beast Boy, and they slowly form a close bond just how they did in the comics. However, we the audience come to learn alongside Beast Boy that she can't control her powers. During the climax, the Titans are called to stop Slade from doing something, I honestly don't know what. And as this conflict is going on, the team is separated and Slade confronts Terra. And this is where I'm going to bring up probably my biggest issue with this particular adaptation. This is their first official meeting, and I feel somehow it's wrong. See, in the comics, Terra already knew Slade from the beginning. She was bad from the start. Here, though, she's supposed to be a tragic and misguided character. Now, while I see what they were going for here, and I do like it, I don't like the fact that they haven't met up yet. Terra meeting the Titans first makes it seem that Terra should know Slade is a bad guy.
Slade? Bad guy. Way bad.
He's a villain. Look, I know he's got the buttery voice of Ron Perlman, but don't let this guy fool you. He's bad. Just look at their first interactions here. First, he bombs the roof of the cave, trapping her with him, and then intimidates her. It only makes sense if she knew him beforehand, because then she would have belief perseverance. Another thing that doesn't sit well with me is the fact that we are told through Slade that she's destroyed cities and places wherever she goes, but we're never shown this. I understand in this earlier scene we were shown that she can't fully control her powers, but it would obviously help if we were given a brief moment where she destroys a town, or even a hero from that town shows up to confront her about it. Somebody like Hotspot or Wildebeest, that we would meet up later in this season. It could have also been the reason why she left, because, quite frankly, as it stands, her reason for leaving the Titans was really dumb and forced. Given her character presented in the show, I would have thought she would have come back, even if it was only a few days afterwards. Instead, Terra is stalked by Slade and then she's later trained by him, which, as I've said before, doesn't make much sense. at least as far as the characters go. I get that she's insecure and isn't confident about her abilities, but falling victim to a villain and accepting his offer when you could have, easily accepted help from much friendlier people. The next time we see Terra isn't until the 8th episode of Season 2, titled Titan Rising. And it's the least egregious out of the bunch, in my opinion.
At least when it comes to Terra, Slade, and the adaptation of Judas Contract as a whole. It's not terrible by any means, even though I am going to complain about a few things down the road.
The only problem I have is the interactions between Terra and Raven. It's complicated, because Raven and Terra in the comics hated each other's guts. Raven didn't trust Terra at all. You see, Raven is the daughter of an interdimensional demon, a very powerful one in fact. As a result, Raven herself is also very powerful. On top of being a very powerful spellcaster, she's also an empath. So, as you can imagine, it's kind of hard to get things past her. She can't be fooled so easily. But in a 2003 animated series, she really doesn't pick up on much.
Everything okay?
Okay. Fine, there's this one time, but that's all we get. It would have been nice to see Raven be more suspicious of her new teammate. With all that being said, I still understand that these are new takes on these characters, and I shouldn't be treating it so harshly. And it's a good interpretation to some degree. The fact that these two act more like foils to each other rather than enemies is kind of nice, actually. The fact that Raven is worried because Terra initially couldn't control her abilities somewhat mirrors Raven's own struggles. I just wish there was more time to develop this interaction. Maybe a passing conversation between Robin and Raven about letting her on as a new team member. I suppose that's a good enough segue into another major problem that I have with this arc. How do I put this? It's too short. More specifically, Terra's involvement feels way too short. Each season of Teen Titans consists of 13 episodes in total. And within Season 2, Terra only appears in 5. Okay, 6 if you squint really hard. I think it would have been better if she appeared in all 13, or just even 12. The best part about this is that she doesn't even have to be the center of attention for each episode. They could play things out as they usually would. Just have Terra comment on stuff and do small things throughout each episode. As it stands, I don't think there's enough here to leave a lasting impact when she betrays the team. Oh, would you look at that? Terra's betrayal is decent. From Terra's initial unwillingness to go with Beast Boy to the eventual liar reveal is done pretty well. I didn't enjoy Terra's conflicting feelings overall, but that comes with the caveat as previously mentioned.
Slade, he helped me, saved me from myself.
The problem I have is right here in black and white. It's the fact that Terra had a better option available to her from the start. The Teen Titans. I mentioned this previously, but Slade and Terra didn't meet before her encounter with the Teen Titans, and so as a result, this line in particular feels kind of hollow. Despite all that I've said though, I kinda get what they were going for. Compared to her comic counterpart, this Terra is far more sympathetic. She breaks down and cries because she feels terrible for what she's done. Betrayed by the only true friend she had ever had. But because her character wasn't given nearly enough time, it feels rushed in my opinion. Beast Boy turning away from her and saying, Slade was right, you don't have any friends, would have hurt far more if we had spent even more time with her. And when all this culminates in the finale Aftershock, this would have felt more poignant when Terra feels conflicted. Maybe she didn't want to kill her friends, but feels that she doesn't have any other choice at this point. Maybe you could even show a scene between her and Robin and asking her to come over to their side, but she can't. Maybe because it's out of fear or some misguided loyalty towards Slade. But at the end of the day, she gets rid of them anyways. And when Slade finally does betray her, it hurts even more. Someone she thought she could trust simply threw her away and discards her for his own gain. Perhaps she was never part of his family or his apprentice to begin with, only a tool to be used and then discarded. Now I know this is the internet, and I know a lot of people, including myself, whine a lot. But try to understand, I still love this show, even now. And I still love this season, and I still love Terra. However, rewatching this for the first time in a long while, it felt off. I don't know. Like, there were ideas here that were kind of half-baked. From some whispers I've heard online, I've heard that the showrunners wanted to have Terra involved in more episodes, as well as even include her in the opening, which would have been cool. It would make season 2 stand out a whole lot more amongst the catalog of episodes that have already been made, and the ones that would come later. As it is, with the final stage abduction and legacy, I think this arc falls flat in some areas. But that doesn't mean I don't like the characters and the story at all. I grew up with this show and still love it to this day. However, that doesn't make it flawless. Season 1 still captivated me, and I loved all the character interactions. But when watching Season 2, it felt off. Despite loving this as a kid and enjoying the character of Terra, her arc overall, and this specific adaptation compared to the ones that I had seen and a few snippets from the comics, it just was unpolished compared to the rest of the series. But in a lot of ways, I'm glad I've come to this conclusion, because despite the overwhelming nostalgia I had for this show, I found a blemish. And while it was not especially large, I still think it counts for something. That despite all my adoration for this classic, I wasn't blinded by rose-tinted glasses. I remember several weeks ago seeing somebody online saying that they didn't like Terra, that her character was garbage, and I didn't quite understand why, until I rewatched this part of the series. I still love this character, but I get it. And this is why, in my honest opinion, Terra as well as Season 2 of Teen Titans deserved better. Thanks for watching, and until next time, guys. Oh wait, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 10k subs, hopefully by this summer. Let's make it happen. Bye, guys.